got to get beyond this. You know, once I was driving through South Jersey, there was this, you could tell it was a vineyard at one time, but it was all overgrown. It was like no one cared about it anymore. As you drove a little closer, you could see peeking out where the sun was shining in a little bit of fruit. And you sat back and said, you know, the guys I was driving with said, you know, somebody should pull this apart. No. There's some treasure there. It has to be unleashed. Without God pruning you, hacking away at you, growing Christians will only be able to live up to a fraction of potential. Do you want to be full better? Do you want to become all? Do you want to get to heaven and know that you experienced everything, possessed everything, did everything, experienced everything that God had for you? Or do you just want to show up this big bushy plant? Look, don't I look pretty? You know, a whole bunch, and never did much with it. Okay. Let's talk about pruning. This is the whole point of today's message. There are 4 specific ways an expert pruner looks at a plant. 1, he hacks away to remove growth that is dead or dying. 2nd, he makes sure the sunlight can get to all the fruit-bearing branches. 4th, he does it to increase the size and quality of the potential fruit. And lastly, to encourage new fruit to develop. Yeah, this church, we are here to equip you, but we're also here to empower you. Why? So you can engage your culture and your world. We're here to equip you and empower you. You can't do one without the other. You can't have growth without empowerment. You see, God is going to intervene in our lives, and he's going to do it by similar principles. To make room for the kind of an abundance he's created for you, he must cut away parts of our lives that drain precious time and energy, and that is what is truly important. His plan for pruning is anything but random. He is committed to do what is necessary for us to experience his abundance. Now, I want you to hear this. If you are a mature believer, if you've been saved for a while, here's your problem. Do you understand the more mature the bush, the more extreme you have to hack at it to get fruit? I mentioned in the very beginning, you've got to shed a lot of wood to grow a lot of grapes. There's a lot of stuff in your life. God is going to come into your life and he's going to say, I want more out of you because I know you can produce more. I know you can be more, do more. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to snip here, I'm going to clip there. And next thing you know, you're going to feel like the little lamb that's been sheared that's shaking in the sun because you feel naked and you see this huge pile of debris over here. But God says, I have to do this for you to become what God designed you to be. Here's the thing. It's going to look like he's disciplining you. But the purposes of discipline and pruning are entirely different. And if you confuse this, the consequences are going to be disastrous in your growth process. So here are the following steps if you believe you're being pruned. Now listen, I'm preaching this, I'm being pruned right now. I've got 5 major areas of ministry in my life. Plus I have to work a job to support myself. I have areas of ministry in my personal life that bring me incredible satisfaction and pleasure. There are areas of ministry, personally for me, that I have fruit. I'm seeing souls saved. I'm seeing lives transformed. I'm seeing areas of my life where I have a calling. Then I have areas of my life that are a pain in the rear end. Please don't take this the wrong way. There are areas of my life that are just draining, that I have to do. I'm a pastor. There's areas of ministry that I have to do. And it's like, excuse me a second. There's areas of my life that get in the way of having fruit. And at the same time, I work a job to make money, to support myself. And I'm 54 years old, and I'm sitting back saying, God, I want to be full-time in the ministry. I want to do all you have for me to do. I'm just wired. And I had this push me, pull you thing going on in my life, where I look at my life and say, God, is there any sin? If there's anything going on in my life, please show me. I want to change. I want to give it up. I don't want to hold up any blessing. I want to be what you want me to be. And there's the area saying, God, this gives me such pleasure. I want to do this. I know it puts a smile on your face. It's bringing people into the kingdom. And then there's stuff. And like Moses, yea, Lord, so much. And I struggle with this. And listen, if I know I'm struggling with this, you've got to be struggling with this stuff in your life. Because some of you work full-time jobs. You're out there 50, 60 hours a week, and you're sitting back saying, I want to live for God. I want to do stuff for God. I got to provide for my family. My kids got to go to college, whatever. You know, weddings are $40,000. I'm going to learn some things from you, my friend, and how you. Anyway, listen. You're going to go through this struggle. And if you have completely wrong reading of how God is working in your life between discipline, training you up, lifting you up, versus pruning, it can wipe your attitude out. You can just go around in a circle, mumbling to yourself, like the Jews did in the wilderness. Because they didn't get the point of what God was doing. They were saying, God, you're cursing me. No, God's saying, I'm trying to get you to the point so I can brush you. And I don't want you to spend years of that turmoil. So, Psalm 37. I'm just going to read a short thing here before I get into these steps. I think it'd be a noble thing to actually read a piece of scripture this morning, even though we're really getting into scripture. It says this. I'm reading from the Amplified. I will apologize in advance, but I want to stress the point. It says in 37, fret not yourselves because of evildoers, neither be envious against those who work unrighteousness, that which is not upright, nor right standing with God. Why don't we start with that? Here's why we start with that. Because there's a whole bunch of people that have nothing to do with God, who don't care about God, who just seem like they're living high on the hog. They got it all. They're being blessed. And like you are struggling and you want to live for God. And there's always going to be that, that like in your crawl, that I love Jesus, why can't I have a Cadillac? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you want to be blessed, but you're looking over there, this guy curses, every third word is Jesus in vain, you know? He's cheating on his wife, he's cheating on everybody else, and yet, look at him, he's making 6 figures. Okay? The Bible says, don't sweat over the evildoer. Don't look at that nonsense. Here's what you need to do. Verse 3, trust. Lean on, rely on, and be confident in the Lord, and do good, so that you shall dwell in the land and feed surely on his faithfulness, and truly you shall be fed. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he will give you the desires and the secret petitions of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord in your care, and he will lean on him. Trust, lean on, rely on, be confident also in him, and he will bring it to pass. That's the abiding part. We'll get into that next week. But I want you to see the attitude that we're supposed to have. Harry and I were at Widener this week, and we met a gal who was new on campus. She had this really cool thing on her desk. It said, have faith, but trust in pixie dust. Okay, have faith, trust in God. So here are the steps. First step that you have to be, write these down. Acknowledge that God is trying to get your attention. Decide that you don't want a season of turmoil to go to waste. You have to decide, hello, God, are you talking to me? You got to decide that, is God talking to you? And then you have to say, look, if I'm going to go through this, I want to get the point. I don't want to repeat the exercise. Anybody ever run track? I did. My skinnier days, another life. Band geeks, band drills. George Parks, who passed away a few weeks ago, was my drum major at Westchester. We'd be out there. It is now dark. You can't see where you're going. We'd get through a drill, and he said, you just hear the words, and the words would just like, you hear him say, again, blow his whistle. You go back up and we do that again. You go, again! You go back. You don't want to do that with God. You have to prepare your heart and say, God, if you're talking to me, I want to get through this and learn what you want me to learn and move on. Too many people, some of you in this room, have these sorry attitudes that you're going to whine. Told one of my kids this morning, it's you or the cat. It's you or the cat. Whichever you are costing me more, if you both whine the same amount of time, one of you is going to have to go. I can't deal with all this whining. God's the same way. God is the same way. He's like, oh, come on. Read the Old Testament. Is that how he responded to Israel all the time? Israel was like, oh, God, man, yeah, well, talk to my head. Like, God, I just want to go. But, you know, you saw his frustration with Israel. We're no different.